It's Tuesday, December 26th, and this is The National. Tonight, it is the shot seen round the world, the first photo of royalty's Fab Four together, and the single mom who took it has quite a story to tell. Here in Canada, there was one four-letter word heard right across the country today, cold. But we begin with the death of a hockey legend, the beloved goalie of the Toronto Maple Leafs and Hall of Famer Johnny Bower. Hockey is a sport brimming with legends. Still, there was no one quite like Johnny Bower.
Certainly hope that we can win the Stanley Cup. I'm certainly hoping that even at my age, we could win it, and it'll be something I'll never forget.
That is the charm and the grace of the Leafs legend. He made his first set of goalie pads from old mattresses, borrowed his first skates. But Bower's first career was as soldier. He lied about his age, was just 15 when he enlisted to serve in the Second World War. He didn't solidify his NHL career until he was in his 30s.
You can see Johnny Bower in the goal down there. Here's a player coming in on him. It's Dick Duff.
At an age when most careers would fade, Bower became unstoppable, nicknamed the China Wall. He had more than a decade with the Leafs, an indispensable shield for 4 Stanley Cups, gracious in victory.
Could have gone either way, and with your help.
And long after his on-ice career was over, he was a scout, a coach, and finally the Maple Leafs Goodwill Ambassador, raising money for charity, advocating for veterans. Bower's life of stopping pucks and moving hearts ended today after a brief battle with pneumonia. He was 93. So the hockey world is now mourning, but earlier today, for Canadians at least, there was some celebrating as the World Junior Hockey Championships got underway.
Jordan Kyrou down towards the goal line, a bang play, rebound, scores!
2 quick goals for Canada early in the first period against Finland laid the groundwork for victory. Canada won the game 4-2 and is looking to win its first gold medal at the tournament since 2015. Now, on this night after Christmas, people are facing more than just leftovers and hangovers. To the east, it is the aftermath of Christmas winds that howled across the land like a pack of vengeful banshees. No tree or power line was safe. To the west, Jack Frost with a pit bull bite. Ron Charles takes us into the cold.
Edmonton feels like it looks, bitterly, bitterly cold. The temperature bottomed out at -32 at 7 o'clock this morning as the deep freeze gripped much of Canada. This being Canada, many Edmontonians weren't about to let the sudden chill ruin a day off.
I'm probably the most miserable person to be asking a question, though. I can't stand the cold, but we're trying to raise a hardier guy than I am.
Staying warm in the weather, dressing layers, like you can have some few thin layers, and then exercise. If you're standing in one place, you're gonna get cold no matter what.
And yet standing around was exactly what these people did in Winnipeg, where the temperature dipped to -30. But Boxing Day bargains beckoned in spite of the extreme cold warning. The cold snap, combined with people staying in over the holiday-long weekend, has been hard on car batteries.
We're into day 3 of -30 through the night and through the day, and we're finding that a lot of people's batteries aren't just cold, they're frozen rock solid.
Compared to that, it might seem positively balmy here in Toronto at -11. Still, the city's medical officer of health has issued an extreme cold weather alert because with the wind chill, it can feel as cold as -23. The alert spurs city officials to open temporary shelters for people living on the street.
Happy?
The annual sit-down dinner at Toronto's Good Shepherd Shelter took on special meaning in the cold.
If it wasn't for the kindness of strangers, I'd be eating snow, right? So I appreciate it. I appreciate what people do.
Shelter spaces are pretty limited, and we're turning people away every night because we're at 100% capacity. So that is a real issue for us. And being able to provide this during the middle of the day means people will be able to come from the cold, sit down, fill up their bellies, and be warm.
The extreme cold in much of the rest of the country is expected to continue until at least Saturday. Ron Charles, CBC News, Toronto.
Thousands are still without power in Nova Scotia after a Christmas Day windstorm. The grid is bouncing back, but the Christmas dinners that were plunged into darkness, as Shayna Luck tells us, those are beyond recovery.
This was music to Chris Ingram's ears this morning after a night without power or heat.
It was kind of chilly, yeah. It was kind of chilly.
So chilly he could see his dog's breath when they woke up. Their power isn't expected back until late tonight, so the family will sleep huddled together on an air mattress in the living room. This seaside neighborhood lost power just as the Christmas turkeys were going into the oven.
Christmas dinner was peanut butter and jam sandwiches.
And chips.
While some managed to cook their turkey on the barbecue, when this couple went out to secure the back deck, the wind was pushing their barbecue around.
I really thought we were going to lose the deck in the shed. We had to strap her all down and running around out there, things blowing around, and it was like a hurricane.
I could see the neighbor's fence was blowing, and I thought it was going to go down, and it did.
Just down the street, Teresa Yetman was home with a lantern and a book.
It was scary. The winds picked up just before the power went out, actually, so I've never seen it blow so hard.
Gusts up to 110 kilometers per hour snapped this entire row of power poles like twigs. More than 600 Nova Scotia Power personnel were called in to help make repairs. 80 extra crews have been added, with some coming from New Brunswick to help clear the fallen trees that smashed down lines across the province.
We feel confident with that work plan at this point, but overall we recognize that there are still customers beyond that, and so we're working to about noon tomorrow.
And while there were some close calls, there were no injuries reported due to the storm. This couple is taking it all in stride.
It sounds like quite an adventure you had this Christmas.
Yes.
I think most exciting one so far.
Yeah.
Shayna Luck, CBC News, Halifax.
To the west coast, where the temperature was hovering around freezing in Vancouver, hundreds of shoppers looking for Boxing Day deals inadvertently caused stress and frustration for travelers just hoping to catch their flights. So this was the scene this afternoon heading towards the Vancouver airport. A solid lineup of cars bumper to bumper trying to get to an outlet mall, which is located right next to the terminal. Now to a story about an unexpected last-minute Christmas present. Have a look at this. This is probably the most famous photo in the world right this moment. Royal couples Prince William and Kate with Prince Harry and his fiancée Meghan on their way to a Christmas Day service, perfectly framed, beautifully lit, obviously the work of a master royal photographer with years of experience, right? Not quite. A devoted royal watcher just happened to beat out some of the world's best photographers at their own game with her iPhone. Neil Coxell has her once-in-a-lifetime story.
It was a day of twists as much as tradition, more than a few firsts. There was that first curtsy for Meghan Markle before the Queen. The fact she was even invited was an extraordinary first for the monarchy. And it was in this giddy crowd that self-proclaimed proud single mom Karen Anvil and her daughter Rachel Murdoch hoped to catch a glimpse.
After we got searched and we were let in and went through all the security, there was a gap. And so everywhere was full and there was this gap.
From that vantage point, she captured this, the first photo of Kate and William, Meghan and Harry together. The dozens of seasoned royal photographers missed out.
And one of them said, he looked on Twitter and he looked and went, oh my God, look at this, to all these other photographers.
What is it about this foursome, this new generation, as you put it, that's so appealing to you?
They're the Fab Four of the future, aren't they? Really? The Fantastic Four. I love it. They looked perfect.
So they represent Britain really perfectly, don't they? They're amazing, and they make us look so good.
They do. I'm so proud, and they're relatable, and they are current, and I love that they're ours. I know that sounds awful, doesn't it? They're ours.
Not to the monarchy. This is the kind of adoration their future depends upon. Karen Anvil's shot, posted on Twitter to just a handful of followers, exploded. She has a photo agent now and a licensing deal. The money, she says, will go towards her daughter's university education.
I'm quite proud of you, to be honest, because you've gone without for me, and it makes me feel really good to know that someone could love me that much to do this for me.
Their closeness, this photo, might in the end be the best shot. Neil Cooksall, CBC News, London.
All right, so how much is that photograph worth? Well, we asked Karen, and she said she's not 100% sure what she'll end up with in the end. Perhaps not enough to put her daughter completely through university, but she said it should be enough for a new car. Now, tensions between the United States and North Korea have escalated sharply this year, fueled by Donald Trump's tough talk and Kim Jong-un's repeated missile launches. As Jacqueline Hansen reports, Pyongyang's threats to conduct further tests over the Pacific is prompting action by the global community.
In recent months, living next to North Korea has meant being a neighbor to a country actively testing nuclear weapons. North Korean missile tests and threats of war have spread fear in South Korea. Now, that country is taking steps to calm nerves. Today, its government announced it is creating a new team dedicated exclusively to monitoring threats from North Korea. While the move is symbolically significant, experts say it does little to counter or protect from North Korea's nuclear capabilities.
There is always a concern that the increasing of capabilities could also increase accidental escalation with North Korea as well.
Still, South Korea isn't the only country trying to make proactive moves. Today, the United States sanctioned 2 North Korean officials, both involved in their country's missile program and known to be favorites of North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. Before leaving the White House Friday, President Trump made a point of saying he would discuss North Korea over the holidays.
I'll be working very hard during that Christmas because we have many things we're talking about, including North Korea.
Russia wants the U.S. to go one step further, to talk with North Korea, and has offered to be the mediator if both countries agree. A spokesman for the Kremlin said Russia's readiness to clear the way for de-escalation is obvious. North Korea has shown no signs of backing down.
With North Korea's continued testing, we're very concerned that the U.S. Response to that will be of greater military pressure.
Increasing concerns that the new year will bring more tension, more tests, and more fear. Jacqueline Hansen, CBC News, Washington.
The international community has been ratcheting up sanctions on North Korea all year in the wake of its repeated missile tests.
Will those in favor of the draft resolution please raise their hand?
Just last week, the UN Security Council imposed new punishments against the country designed to strangle North Korea's energy supplies. It's all in an effort to get the North to abandon its weapons program. Even China, one of its last remaining allies, supports the sanctions, and they are having an impact on the Kim regime. China is the main source of North Korea's fuel. Chinese data released today shows it exported no oil products to its isolated neighbor last month. This includes gasoline, jet fuel, diesel, or fuel oil. Canada has imposed economic sanctions, which include a ban on all exports to North Korea and imports from the country. And in response to today's new U.S. sanctions, Foreign Affairs Minister Chrystia Freeland's office told the CBC Canada actively supports the UN Security Council resolutions and other international measures that pressure the North Korean regime. On Vancouver Island, police are investigating an apparent double homicide after 2 children were found dead inside a home on Christmas Day.
It was shocking. It was a quiet night. I was doing my laundry, of all things, on Christmas. And when I went down to the main floor, I just wasn't allowed. There was cops in.
Officers found the bodies of 2 small children, aged 4 and 6, in the community of Oak Bay, just outside Victoria. A third person, a man, was also found injured and was taken to hospital. Police say that while foul play is suspected, there's no reason to believe the public is at risk. When we come back, The first in our series of Reporters' Notebooks, Margaret Evans has the story behind the story of the famine in South Sudan. And later, the race for nuclear fusion. Could a BC startup be the one to find the holy grail of physics?
And over on the someplace else side, maybe you'll find you somebody else, which is plenty to worry about, even if you happen to feel pretty good at the time.
But you live in a town, any town, and you spend most of your time as if you know what it's all about. You know where you're going, when really you don't know, because it's the town that's going, and you're just along for the ride.
An emergency aid helicopter thrumming towards its target in the skies above South Sudan, a land scorched by more than the sun these days.
We all know it can be a cruel world out there with deep pockets of madness and misery. This week, we're using our journalism to revisit a few of those. We're asking the reporters who covered those stories to tell us in their own words what they saw, what they heard, and why it matters. We begin our series of Reporters' Notebooks with Margaret Evans, who went to South Sudan.
Pennies from heaven. Aid drops like these remain crucial for so many in South Sudan.
Chaos. I mean, the country is in chaos. It's not an easy country to get into as a journalist. It's not an easy country for aid agencies to work in, but it was all happening. So there's the contrast of that chaos with this enormous need of the country.
An emergency aid helicopter thrumming towards its target in the skies above South Sudan, a land scorched by more than the sun these days. X marks the spot for a massive food drop in the heart of one of the country's 2 declared famine zones.
We went on one flight with the World Food Program to Unity State, which was the heart of the famine, where they were doing a food drop. And we got to touch down there and talk to people who'd been waiting for a month for an airdrop. These are people who had fled the fighting. Some of them had been living in swamps and eating water lilies to survive as they fled, because the other side, of course, of what's happening there is a civil war that some say has turned into ethnic cleansing.
3 years of civil war in South Sudan have displaced hundreds of thousands, especially here in Unity State. Civilians say they're paying a terrible price for living in rebel-held territory. Eliza Nyakuma's husband was shot dead, she says, when government soldiers attacked her village, burning it to the ground. She hid in the swamps with her 5 children. They sleep when they're too hungry, she says, and I go out and find the leaves of the trees. That's how my children survive, and eating water lilies. The dark folds of one of the few primary health care clinics in the region. Bonds between mother and child stretch taut. 2-year-old Maduak Deng weighs 4 kilograms and manages to look older than the universe. His mother walked 2 hours to bring him here. 5 other children at home on their own. No husband, and the firewood she sells doesn't earn enough to feed them. Here, they're trying fortified milk on Deng. His grip on the feeding cup is a good sign. The number of children suffering from acute malnutrition is rising every day here, say health workers.
The parents of the children who were struggling really accepted us with amazing grace because, we were a 3-person crew, Stephanie and Richard and I, and kind of barreling through these very difficult scenes and quiet scenes. I was amazed with the dignity that these mothers, mostly mothers, greeted us with in these very difficult times, and I'll never forget them, and I'll never forget the children that didn't make it. The ones that did too, there was a lot of silent communication. There was a lot of looking into someone's eyes, looking into a little boy's eyes and asking that question in your head, was he one of the ones who was going to manage to survive, or was it too late?
This is what starvation looks like in the capital, Juba. Teresa is so critical she needs a feeding tube, still dressed in her best for her trip to the hospital. 4-year-old Bak also has acute malnutrition and tuberculosis on top of that. There is no money for his treatment.
It's like entering somebody else's nightmare, and you're trapped in there with them, and so you understand how trapped they feel and how helpless. Everything seemed to be slow, everything seemed to be quiet, but there were these just elemental struggles going on between, a mother and a child, just trying to maintain that link, and seeing, I remember one little boy named Bak who didn't make it, and I remember very clearly his hand reaching out to touch his mother's foot.
Former breadbasket states are no longer producing food, and head nurse Betty Achan says those who came to Juba to escape hunger and uncertainty find it here too.
You don't know what will happen. You just get yourself the following morning you're coming here. We're just counting days.
We met in Juba in the children's hospital, a nurse named Betty, and I don't know how she managed to turn up at work every day because so many of the children in her charge, were slipping away. And we spent some time there, and she was just a tower of fortitude and said, "What else can you do?"
4-year-old Bak died 2 days after we met him, disappearing from sight like those people in the bush, waiting for a peace that may never come. Margaret Evans, CBC News, in Unity State, South Sudan.
We'll tell you a bit more about some of those images you saw a little later in the program. South Sudan is the focus of tonight's Behind the Lens. But first, if you're feeling a bit foggy from the festive season, our next story is an energy source of unimaginable promise.
Fusion is always accused of being 30 years away, no matter when you ask. I think we know it can work. What we don't know is just how long and how hard the combined financial, technical path is to get it there.
welcome. Hope you're enjoying the cinnamon buns and vodka.
It's probably nothing, but I think I've killed a man.
Can you imagine this in prison?
I used to text Zac Efron just like a question mark whenever I wanted a booty call. Poor thing would be like buzzing my apartment before I even pressed send.
The entire internet thinks your mother is dead?
What is the source of this falsehood? And what photo are they using?
I am done.
Being who I am and having been involved so long and occasionally in prominent positions, you hear these ideas all the time, but I thought this one makes some sense.
Nuclear fusion holds the promise of changing the world, but so far it's just meant a lot of work without a lot of workable fusion. Still, there are some serious competitors in the race, including a small Canadian player. Our colleague Frédéric Zalac of CBC Radio Canada's Découverte has been sizing up the field in the race for fusion.
Energy of unprecedented power feeds the sun. It's called nuclear fusion. Could this unlimited clean energy source help us end our reliance on fossil fuels? Around the world, the race is on to harness fusion on Earth. Whoever succeeds will change the future of mankind.
The energy content just in my hand right here is equivalent to what a family of 4 would need in electricity for a whole year.
And there is little downside, no risk of Chernobyl or Fukushima.
Fusion is safe. Like I said, meltdown runaway is not unlikely, it's physically impossible.
Big dreams, but even bigger challenges.
It's the holy grail of physics, and lots of people have tried and failed.
4, 3, 2, 1, shot.
In the Vancouver suburb of Burnaby, a warehouse acts as a makeshift lab. Since we started filming in 2009, this has been the headquarters of General Fusion, the unlikely startup of Quebec physicist Michel Laberge. He left a good-paying job to follow his dream, to find a new source of energy to save the planet.
There's global warming, the situation is dire. If we don't fix that, it's not going to be good. Most fusion researchers know that the ultimate solution for energy is fusion. The fuel is abundant and cheap. So I decided, okay, I'll do fusion.
Fusion is the combination of nuclei of atoms which produce a lot of energy and no carbon emissions. And unlike conventional nuclear power, no long-term radioactive waste is produced. You can find one of the fuels for fusion, deuterium, in almost unlimited quantity in water. Since the 1950s, scientists have been trying to harness fusion using plasmas, very hot gases with charged particles. Heating plasmas to hundreds of millions of degrees helps overcome the repulsive forces of the atoms, allowing them to fuse together and create a lot of energy. But easier said than done. Over and over, researchers have failed.
These plasmas were unstable, wouldn't stay where you put them. If they didn't stay there, they couldn't get hot. If they don't get hot, they don't make fusion.
Californian physicist Kenneth Fowler is one of the pioneers of the U.S. nuclear fusion program. He began in 1957.
Fusion is always accused of being 30 years away, no matter when you ask. I think we know it can work. What we don't know is, just how long and how hard the combined financial, technical path is to get it there.
Back in Burnaby, Michel Laberge believes he can succeed where others failed. When we first met him in 2009, his warehouse was almost empty, except for a large metal tube. Laberge hopes to master the energy of the future thanks to the technology of the past, the piston.
3, 2, 1, 0.
The power plant proposed by General Fusion will have hundreds of pistons around a sphere. The sphere will be filled with rotating liquid lead so as to create a vortex in the middle. A plasma ring made up of a heavy form of hydrogen, will then be injected into the middle. Once every second, all the pistons will push on the liquid lead, trapping the plasma and compressing it. The compression makes the plasma very hot and 1,000 times denser. With greater heat and density, the hydrogen nuclei collide at high speed, hitting hard enough to fuse together and create energy. The cost of building the prototype would be more than $100 million. A modest sum in the world of fusion, but astronomical for an ordinary physicist.
We were putting a suit and a tie and going crawl on our knees to go, please send money.
To get there, he's had to convince investors.
Put yourself in the place of any investor. There's thousands of physicists spending millions of dollars, and they're not going nowhere. And this little guy that nobody knows, that have no name in the business, come to ask you for millions of dollars with this idea.
As funding was running short, LaBerge had a chance encounter in California that would change everything. He met Kenneth Fowler.
Being who I am and having been involved so long and occasionally in prominent positions, you hear these ideas all the time, but I thought this one makes some sense.
One investor hired Ken Fowler, and he came at General Fusion, looked at our stuff, and he concluded that there were no big showstopper. This thing has actually a pretty good chance of working.
Fowler wrote a favorable report on the General Fusion concept, a report that would open doors.
Those who have not thought about that enough look at it and you know, they don't see some wing-ding technology. God, it's supposed to work just by banging it with pistons. If they haven't thought about that seriously, they don't appreciate what a brilliant idea that is.
Then, in July 2009, the much-needed funding came together.
So congratulations. I was hoping you would do some cartwheels today.
We'll do some cartwheels in the Bank of Montreal when the check goes in.
Perfect. All right. Thank you.
By then, General Fusion had raised $11 million to begin the work, including $2 million from the federal government. While a small BC startup was getting ready, a large fusion project was already taking off south of the border. One of the biggest players in the global nuclear fusion race is in the San Francisco area. The Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory has been conducting secret research to maintain the U.S. nuclear arsenal. It has also been exploring nuclear fusion at the National Ignition Facility known as NIF. The most powerful laser on the planet is right here.
We're trying to recreate essentially a miniature star. I mean, it's pretty ambitious, right, to do it with a laser, okay? And to do it, you have to get into extreme conditions of temperature and density.
How does this powerful laser produce nuclear fusion? Think of a magnifying glass and of the sun.
Most people have taken a magnifying glass, right, and focused sunlight onto a piece of paper. Well, with NIF, we don't have just a few watts. We have 1,000 times more power than all the power stations in this country. And when we focus that on the surface of this 2-millimeter sphere, we heat it up and voila, recipe for a star.
The initial laser beam is split into two, then redirected towards two bays, each the size of a football field. There, the beams are again broken up, eventually to form 192 distinct rays. These rays repeatedly run the entire distance of the bays. With each run, boosters increase the ray's energy. The beams then converge towards the middle chamber and a small golden container. Inside, the tiny sphere which contains the fuel for fusion.
I have your attention. Main laser operation in the target bay will begin in approximately 20 minutes. All personnel are required to exit the target bay areas in the next 10 minutes.
We start to prepare the facility because we can create a very large amount of neutrons. These are potentially lethal doses of neutrons in the target base, so we really want to make sure that everyone has left the facility.
Neutrons released by fusion can contaminate the target bay. But this kind of radioactivity is of short duration.
Ready for system shot, countdown clock. MOR, ILS ready.
A large team oversees the experiment from this control room.
Power conditioning.
Power conditioning's ready.
If there is the slightest problem, the extreme conditions necessary for fusion won't be there and everything stops. So no risk of nuclear meltdown like Chernobyl or Fukushima.
Fusion is safe. You know, like I said, meltdown runaway is not unlikely. It's physically impossible. It's so difficult to get it going.
3, 2, 1, shot.
Under the effect of lasers, X-rays form inside the container and bombard the target. It then becomes 30 times smaller and implodes in a fraction of a second. A fusion reaction follows, releasing a lot of energy.
So that is the beauty of that you can create this 50 micron little star in the center of the target chamber and take pictures of that, because it only exists for like a trillionth of a second long. Even that can create so much power, megajoules of energy. It's just like a little miracle that you can achieve that.
Since the first tests in 2012, the team has made a lot of progress. But the ultimate goal of producing a thermonuclear burning plasma has not yet been attained.
The fuel is not as nice and cleanly behaved when we compress it as we would hope for, but we have a whole slew of issues that we are working on to improve that.
The challenges are tremendous, but the rewards are even more tremendous, right? That you don't want to give up.
A little spin on the bike. Thank you.
Back in Burnaby, the small General Fusion team has no time to worry about competition. They are busy building key components of their fusion device.
So, guys, can we have a couple of cables ready for tomorrow?
They'll be putting the plasma injector to the test. Laberge makes one last round to check that the machine is ready.
This all go to high voltage. So if you leave a piece of metal like this on it, it'll explode. Lots of energy in there. Aha, a washer. See a washer in the work, that could be bad. Okay, is everybody ready? Hello, hello? Everybody's done? Is this ready to go? Firing now, firing. Ting, it went ting. Like anyone one mode and then it goes.
The results reveal a key problem with the temperature of the plasma.
It goes cold really quickly. So if the temperature drops faster than we squash it, it'll just go colder, 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 and we're not going to do any fusion.
If the plasma cools off too quickly, all of Laberge's efforts will have been wasted. The team goes back to the drawing board. Meanwhile, even bigger competitors in the fusion race keep turning up.
When we come back, the big daddy of fusion projects.
Well, take that. In the world of cyberspace, a message sent in capital letters like that one is a real no-no. It's like picking up the phone and shouting at the person on the other end. Well, so how do you communicate emotion on the internet? Well, those clever internet cadets have come up with a special set of symbols and a code of conduct called, of course, netiquette.
And joining me now from the Midday office to show us how to behave in the wired world is Jim Carroll, author of the Canadian Internet Handbook. Hi, Jim.
Hi there.
So if I write to you on the internet in uppercase letters, it's really rude?
People get stressed about it. I mean, it's difficult to read, it's difficult to understand, it's not easy to read, and people get a little bit concerned about that type of typing.
My goodness. So I guess there's a whole way you have to operate when you're writing on the internet. Can you give us a few of the basics?
Well, psychologists have actually studied it, and I guess the key problem is that you don't see the normal body language of somebody speaking when you're sending electronic communications through the internet. So there's a few things you don't do. You don't send capitals, stuff all in capitals. People call that shouting, and they do say it's difficult to use. Another thing is that when you write a note, you shouldn't copy in everybody. It's very easy to send a message to the president of the organization and send the same message to 300 people at the same time. That certainly causes a lot of people stress because, I mean, people simply start to get too much electronic mail. It's too easy to copy in too many people. And probably the third thing, it happens to a lot of people. It's a really strange development, but what happens with people on electronic mail is they can write something that they might not otherwise say or ever put on paper. They can get very angry very quickly and type with anger into the keyboard. We call that flaming. And inevitably, somebody does it at some point. At some point, somebody using electronic mail will send something, and they'll really regret it later because they'll say things that they didn't mean to say.
So you actually have a term for people who are angry who are writing notes.
Oh yeah, and it happens regularly. You can see messages from people. You wonder, why did they ever send me that? Boy, they must have been in a really bad mood when they typed it out.
Amazing. All right. Well, is there a site on the internet where you can find all the things you should and shouldn't do? And
there's all kinds of sites. Psychologists are studying it. Sociologists are studying it. It's really a point of fascination for a lot of people. This is an example site that we have here, a beginner's guide to effective electronic mail, and it gives you a lot of tips and pointers about what you should be doing in your messages, what you shouldn't be doing, how to write the message, how to enunciate some of the key points that you're trying to make, the fact that you shouldn't type in capitals, just some of the do's and don'ts of the information highway.
Now, there are all these symbols that you can use for communicating. And what are some of those symbols?
Well, people call them emoticons. I guess people came up with other methods. Emoticons. And it means emotion icons. And people came up with methods to say, you know, this is how you can get across that you're happy, that you're sad, that you're angry, or that you're winking at someone. And what they do is they type in little computer symbols, and when you look at them sideways, they represent something.
Okay, so the first one we saw there was happy, and this one, when the happy one is on its side, what does that tell us?
That tells us it's a happy face, and that means if you look at it sideways, there's the mouth, there's the nose, and there's the two eyes.
Welcome. Hope you're enjoying the cinnamon buns and vodka.
It's probably nothing, but I think I've killed a man.
Can you imagine this in prison?
I used to text Zac Efron just like a question mark whenever I wanted a booty call. Poor thing would be like buzzing my apartment before I even pressed send.
The entire internet thinks your mother is dead?
What is the source of this falsehood? And what photo are they using?
I am done.
Since Hurricane Katrina, him and his fiancée took me in their home. I didn't know there was people like that left in the world.
Hello, Goodbye. New season arrives January 12th on CBC.
Aix-en-Provence region in the south of France. An impressive construction site looms over the landscape. It's called ITER, the most ambitious nuclear fusion project in the world. The eyes of the planet are fixed on the crucial experiment that will take place here.
This is the dawn of being able to take the sun and bring it down to mankind. From this point onwards, we're going to be able to be producing more energy than we put into the system.
35 countries have joined forces to build this experimental reactor. They include members of the European Union, China, India, Japan, South Korea, the United States, and even Russia. At the heart of ITER will be a large donut-shaped chamber which will contain heated plasma.
So we will have here this heated gas. It'll be heated up to about 150 million degrees Celsius. We're pretty sneaky. The way that we hold this thing in place is by creating these powerful magnets.
Nobel Prize-winning Soviet physicist Andrei Sakharov invented this concept, the tokamak, in the 1950s. The tokamak is a machine which traps very hot plasma using magnetic fields.
The magnets will be able to create a huge magnetic field that holds this hot plasma in place, and then that will allow us to hold something 150 million degrees.
If the plasma touches the walls of the chamber, it cools off quickly, ending the fusion. So these massive magnets are designed to trap the plasma in the middle of the chamber, preventing it from touching the sides and losing heat. Other tokamaks are already in operation. but they all require more energy to operate than they produce. It simply doesn't hold the heat long enough.
What we now need is to go the next step, and unfortunately, the concept bigger is better. It works here. We just need to build a little bit bigger machine that holds the plasma in a little bit longer to give us a better return investment.
So ITER must be built on a much larger scale than all existing tokamaks. The components are huge, including the magnets, some of the biggest ever built in the world. These magnets are superconductors. They produce powerful magnetic fields, but to operate, they must be kept at a temperature of minus 268 degrees Celsius. The plasma inside the chamber reaches 150 million degrees, 5 times hotter than the sun. So you've got a machine of contrasts, you're incredible contrasts.
Indeed. You bring in very close proximity the hottest point in the solar system and the coldest point in the solar system. And those two are separated by 1 or 2 meters.
Construction and assembly of ITER began in 2007 and will continue until 2025. It has come close to disaster because of delays and cost overruns, which have tripled. The ITER board has postponed the date of the first fusion plasma until 2035, a delay of 12 years. Many, including the Americans, aren't pleased.
I'm not going to kid you, it is very tenuous support at this point. The delays and the cost increases are causing a tremendous pressure. Lots of questions about whether it's worth it, whether we should continue.
If everything goes according to plan, ITER will produce 500 megawatts of energy, just a bit more than it will use up. To be profitable, a future plant will have to be more efficient.
This is the stepping stone. From here, we go to a thing called demo. With demo, that's where we're going to actually be producing energy. For every 1 watt in, we'll be returning at least 4 or 5 watts directly back to the grid.
Back in BC, General Fusion can't match ITER's scale, but the simplicity of their concept, using old reliable pistons to compress plasma, will be the optimal solution, believes founder Michel Laberge.
Okay, fire in the piston.
I'm a very practical guy. When I design something, I always design it in such a way that I can build it myself. I don't want to have something too exotic and difficult to construct.
The team is assembling a small-scale 14-piston model to test different components. General Fusion has managed to solve the crucial problem of the plasma cooling off too quickly. But a key question remains. Will the plasma be stable enough to produce fusion when it's compressed? Short of building an expensive full-scale prototype, the team needs another way to test its concept. At a test site nearby, a small plasma injector is installed inside this container. Instead of pistons, the plasma will be compressed using explosives, which have similar properties.
The biggest risk to General Fusion is whether or not the physics of our scheme is going to work. When we looked at the energies and the velocities that are needed to do our physics, it's very similar to the energies and velocities that you'd find with high explosives.
Next day, the explosives are placed inside a ring at the top of the container.
Get everybody off the top of the container, please.
As a precaution, we take refuge inside another container.
Next.
Charging.
The moment of truth, the team has only one chance to succeed.
Oh, yeah. That's good.
Nice, did it. Well done, guys, well done.
The team is anxious to see if the measuring equipment and the plasma injector survived the blast.
All of this is pretty much intact. On the whole, this is looking fantastic. The last couple of times we actually blew the door off.
So just a review of the diagnostic head, we had more or less...
At first, the results seemed disappointing. The compressed plasma was too unstable to generate fusion. But recent field tests suggest General Fusion may have overcome that challenge too. The Canadian startup is now raising funds to build its first large-size prototype, hoping to reach the holy grail of energy in the near future.
I'm quite convinced that fusion will run this planet one of those days. Now, when is this one of those days? That is a little bit more difficult to answer. Here at General Fusion, we would like to think about 10 years.
The race towards nuclear fusion has turned into a marathon, and the finish line is constantly moving. But many researchers believe we are now on the cusp of a breakthrough that will change the world and help us save our planet. For The National, I'm Frédéric Zalac in Vancouver.
Stay with us now. When we come back, why the picture of a little boy in South Sudan was one of the year's most striking for a veteran CBC videographer.
This is Alanis Morissette, the grade 12 student. And this is Alanis, the teenage pop surprise of 1991. She may be a brunette, but in the recording industry, Alanis is platinum. On the strength of 2 singles, Feel Your Love and Too Hot, her debut album has sold over 100,000 copies since last spring. Now Alanis is in demand. Last summer she played the Ottawa exhibition. Warming up for rap star Vanilla Ice, she had a lot of sizzle for a 17-year-old.
Take it off! Take it off! Take it off!
But as with most seemingly overnight sensations, success hasn't come suddenly at all. Alanis has been working towards this all of her young life.
I always wanted to do it since I was 3. I've always wanted to be a singer.
That doesn't make Alanis different from a lot of other girls with a dream. Something else does.
Yeah, she's one of the most ambitious people I've met.
That's Leslie Howe, the Ottawa musician who co-wrote Alanis' songs and produced her album.
You know, when you're 14 years old and a guy or girl, whatever, I think usually your thoughts are on other things that other than trying to make a career. I guess she's known right from a young age. She wanted to be a singer, and she's done everything she can to make it happen.
Everything, including recording a demo and shooting a video in Paris when she was just 14.
We sort of didn't really hold back. Like, we went over to Paris and we did the video, and we wanted to make it something that people would get on their desk and not just keep it there. They'd look at it and go, hey. You know, so we tried our best, and I think all kinds of things combined with, you know, good song, and I guess I was young and stuff.
Alanis has moved into almost unclaimed territory in the Canadian music scene, the market for a pretty, teenaged, homegrown pop singer. Industry watchers say she has the talent and the drive to go as far as she wants, or as far as real life will let her. After all, there is school. Alanis wants to graduate from Ottawa's Glebe Collegiate this year.
Monday, January 8th on Murdoch. A victim gasping for life has Murdoch in for a dangerous ride.
How would one find a vacuum large enough to fit an adult human?
An all-new Murdoch Mysteries returns January 8th on CBC.
The National has also been looking back at some of the year's most memorable images and hearing from the people who were behind the lens. London videographer Richard Devey was with Margaret in South Sudan. And amidst all the suffering, the shot Richard found the most arresting was that of a little boy.
The power of an image is in its simplicity and in its rawness and truth. Well, the scene was quite a difficult scene, actually. It was a young kid, weighs 4 kilograms. He looks so frail, it looks like he doesn't even have a shadow. We were taken on a tour of this very, very small little ward. And I was literally behind a small little wall, actually. So I was slightly at an angle, a 45-degree angle away from the young boy. I literally just picked up my camera, put it on my shoulder, and did everything handheld. When this little mug of magic was put in front of him, he immediately focused on this thing, and as I said, he took it to his mouth, and he just, all his attention was focused just on getting that food. And he did it twice. And then when he had finished, he was completely spent, and he rolled over, literally lay down. His face was covered in perspiration. His mother was trying to cool him down and keep the flies with him with this cloth, and he went to sleep. And it was quite remarkable. It's all about survival. That's when it gave me hope that there is this thin line between life and death, and it's, will somebody actually take the food or not take the food? Do they have the strength to do that?
Last week, Amnesty International Canada cited Margaret, Richard, and producer Stephanie Genzer for their documentary work in South Sudan. It said, quote, the CBC team brought focus to profoundly disturbing human rights violations through an artful piece of reporting which is unparalleled in Canadian journalism. And that is the National on Boxing Day. Thanks for watching. Good night.